Now we are going to study about design of respiratory organs. See, in case of aquatic organisms such as fish, they have gills, right? In case of terrestrial organisms, land animals like us, we breathe through which organ? Lungs. In case of earthworm, even in case of frog, they can breathe through skin. So these are the different respiratory organs found in animal world. But whether it is gills or lungs or skin, they all have three things in common. What is that? The surface of these organs where exchange of gases occurs. Exchange of gases means from the environment, oxygen will be taken inside. Carbon dioxide will be given outside. So this exchange of gases, wherever it occurs inside that organ, that area, that surface area will be very thin. Why should be thin? Then only faster exchange can occur. Second design is that they all will be richly supplied with blood capillaries. Presence of blood is very essential. Then only that exchange of gases can occur very efficiently. So whether it is gills or lungs or skin, they will have rich supply of fine blood capillaries. The third common design that is observed is these surfaces will be highly folded to increase the surface area, means to pack in more amount of that surface in smaller space. That surface will be highly folded. So you see inside lungs the alveoli will be highly folded. If we study gills, in the gills also it is highly folded. It will be having highly folded surface. In case of skin of course it covers the entire body of an organism, so its surface area will be anyway more. Now we are going to learn about glucose breakdown pathway, means what are the different ways where glucose is broken down to release energy. We have previously learned that respiration is, what is respiration? It is a process where glucose is broken down to release energy, and it can be broken down in presence of oxygen or in absence of oxygen. But whether it is aerobic or anaerobic, this phase is common in all. This is the first stage of glucose breakdown. Okay, and this stage is known as glycolysis. What is this stage? This glucose is broken down into pyruvate. Glucose is 6 carbon compound. It contains 6 carbon. Pyruvate is 3 carbon compound. So in the cytoplasm, with the help of enzymes, this glucose is first broken down into pyruvate. So from one glucose we get 2 pyruvate molecules because this is 3 carbon. When this glucose is broken down, along with that energy is released. In which form? ATP, adenosine triphosphate. You have learned this in 9th standard that ATP is the energy currency of the cell. All activities of the cell is performed by using the energy of this compound ATP, and this we get it by breakdown of glucose. Okay, and like for example, now I am explaining, I am speaking, I am moving my fingers, all these activities, who is providing me energy for all these activities? This ATP. Okay, and see this diagram, this is the cell. So the first stage of breakdown of glucose occurs in the cytoplasm. Once the pyruvate is formed, this pyruvate is shifted inside this mitochondria. But this shifting and further breakdown of pyruvate inside the mitochondria occurs only in the aerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, there is no role of mitochondria. Whatever breakdown occurs, whatever energy is released, all that occurs in the cytoplasm only. The special feature of this further breakdown of pyruvate inside the mitochondria occurs only in which kind of respiration? In which kind? Aerobic respiration. Okay, and that is why in aerobic respiration, the glucose, after being broken down into pyruvate, this pyruvate gets completely broken down to form carbon dioxide plus water and energy. So as there is a complete breakdown of glucose in the mitochondria, we get more energy in aerobic respiration and we get very less energy in anaerobic respiration. Now this is the next stage in the breakdown of glucose. What was the first stage? Glycolysis, where glucose is broken down to form pyruvate. What happens to the pyruvate? What is fate of pyruvate next? The fate of pyruvate depends upon whether oxygen is available or not available, whether it is absent or whether it is present or whether it is there in sufficient amount or not. Depending upon the presence or absence of oxygen, the pyruvate is broken down into different compounds in different kind of organisms. For example, in case of anaerobic organisms such as yeast, even Clostridium bacteria is anaerobic, or Rhizobium bacteria which fixes nitrogen, that is also anaerobic. In all those kind of anaerobic organisms where oxygen is not used for respiration, this pyruvate is broken down to form ethanol, ethyl alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. And see this ethanol is 2 carbon compound. Last time we seen pyruvate is a 3 carbon compound. So it is broken down into ethanol and carbon dioxide and energy in the form of ATP. Why I am pointing out at this? This shows that glucose, means from the beginning the 6 carbon compound glucose is not totally oxidized. It is partially oxidized. That is why we get less energy. And where does this breakdown of pyruvate occurs in case of anaerobic organisms? Inside the cytoplasm only. Next case is lack of oxygen, where oxygen is there but not in sufficient amount. How much the cells require, that much it is not being supplied. So that happens in case of our muscle cells when there is sudden physical activity. During increased physical activity, if the muscle cells don't get sufficient amount of oxygen, then they resort to anaerobic respiration. This is also kind of anaerobic respiration only. And in this case, pyruvate is broken down, or actually it is converted. It is partially, it is modified and converted to form a lactic acid, which is also 3 carbon compound. And during this conversion process only energy is released. Again, this energy is not as high as compared to the next process, which is aerobic process. What is this third process? If oxygen is present, then we call this breakdown as respiratory breakdown or aerobic respiration, sorry. This is aerobic respiration where oxygen is present, and this breakdown occurs in, as I showed before, in this mitochondria. And in the mitochondria, with the help of various enzymes, the pyruvate is completely broken down into carbon dioxide. See, this is a single carbon compound. And that is why we say that in aerobic respiration, there is complete oxidation of glucose. Hence, we get more ATP. Along with this carbon dioxide, water is also produced. That's why when we exhale, when we give out air, that air not only contains carbon dioxide, it is rich in carbon dioxide, plus we also give out water vapor. That we can feel it during winter season. When you stand in front of the mirror or hold your hand and say, ha, you can see that vapor forming on that mirror surface. So it shows that when we exhale, we give out water vapor, molecules of water, plus we give out carbon dioxide, and this energy is formed in the form of ATP, which is utilized for various activity.